Welcome to the Unlock the Genius Within show. I'm your host, Jordan DeBarno, former salesman turned alchemist and creative. And on this show, myself and my guests will be breaking down the lessons, experiences, and secrets that we gained through bringing our creative genius to life. Thanks for joining me today, and let's get into the episode. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. We just had a few little technical issues with the microphone, but we're here on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're tuning in from. And it's great to be back. I hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. I was very social this weekend, very social. I was out in the city all day on Saturday, and yesterday I was out hiking in the Dandenongs. Yeah, very social this weekend, catching up with a lot of friends. But it was good. It was good. In the past, I haven't been very social. I'm social in my business. I'm social when there's like a clear outcome when I'm creating something. But more and more, I've become someone that just loves to hang out, head out on hikes, and catch up for jams with my muso friends. And it's good. It's been a good change. Anyhow, we are not speaking about socializing today, guys. We're speaking about money today. Money. Speaking about money because I've had a few conversations about this recently, and it got me thinking about how at different stages in my life, I have played one of two roles. I've either been the greedy bastard where I'm like, I need a lot of money and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it and screw everyone else. And then I've also been at the other end of the scale, which is like, oh, money doesn't matter to me. I'm here to just, to be of service to everyone, and money doesn't matter at all. It's all about being a good person. And they're two massive extremes. And I've had conversations with friends about this recently. I've had conversations with this about my clients. I help them with this structure. And today, I think it would be a great topic to dive into because it's very relevant. So I want to start off with just like where I began with this. And I'll take it all the way back to when I began my soccer coaching business. I was very naive when I started that business, very naive. I would have been about 19 years old. I'd been coaching while I was in high school. I'd been helping out with my brother's soccer teams. I was running school holiday clinics. So there was kind of some sort of business there, but I didn't have a business name, an ABN, and I wasn't marketing clinics consistently, but it was just whenever I could get out to a park and I'd train my brother's friends and what have you. And at that stage, I remember that I was so in love with soccer coaching. That's all I wanted to do, right? And I think about that time quite a bit because it was a special time. I wasn't really thinking about much else. And money seemed to find its way to me at the time. Now, I was 16 when I began that. And, for me, what I used to charge was $20 a session for the kids that came. My first clinic, it was $10. And then when I started to see that people really wanted me to coach them, I made it $20. And it was just I really want to do this. I really want to create this amazing end result for all these kids. I want them to play A grade level in their soccer club. That was my thing. And I want them to be confident with the ball, and just seeing them go from someone that would dribble and maybe they couldn't shoot properly or score goals, or they couldn't really pass with a lot of technique, to then seeing them on a soccer pitch absolutely tearing it up. I just loved that end result. I loved that transformation, just watching it and pushing them and mentoring them through that. It was fantastic. So that business was highly successful. And when I hit about 21 years old, I'd really stuck with it. I had, you know, coaches right around Victoria. We were going to different schools, putting on soccer clinics at lunchtime, after school. On the weekends, we used to hire out halls at different sections. Like we had something in the north. We had something in the east. Then we were back in the east on Sunday mornings. Like it was all happening. And I remember something flicked in my mind at 21, and I said to myself, I am working to the bone here. I am so burnt out. Like every day there was about 3 clinics on. So throughout the day, if I wasn't like marketing our business and running like free sessions at different schools to basically then sign them in, I was out with the kids, like either at lunchtime, before mornings, so like before school, like say in the morning. Sometimes I'd do that. But basically from like 12 p.m. onwards, my day was just mayhem. It was just nuts. And I remember I started saying to myself, I am working way too hard, right? I deserve more. And all of a sudden, this new part of me emerged, and it was like, I need to make more money from this. I'm being taken advantage of. And I started making like all these assumptions. Now, I was very naive in business. I did have some business coaches at the time helping me grow this company, and I had the coaches, and there was momentum there. But I got disconnected. I got disconnected from what I was creating, and I decided, well, this is just not making enough money for me, and I'm burnt out and I can't continue. So what did I do? I sabotaged the whole thing. Term by term after that, our numbers dropped, and then before I knew it, I wanted to throw the towel in and just go, nah, I am done with this business. Okay. So when that happened, I took up a sales role. It was actually with the business coaching company that were mentoring me. And I said, I want to work for you guys. And because I want to learn how to sell and make a ton of money. Like I can sell soccer coaching programs, but I want to sell like big ticket things and make a ton of money, right? So I didn't say that to them at the time, but that was the motive behind it. I'm like, if I can learn how to sell big ticket things, then I can make chunks of money and la, la, la. Now, I'll just pause there, right? So you can see there's a theme here that I didn't really understand at the time, and it was that I got disconnected from what I was creating. I got disconnected from the end result, and all of a sudden, money became my focus. But when money wasn't the priority, but the end result was, things were growing. Now, if I could sit down 19, or let's go to just before I got burnt out. 20-year-old Jordan Debano would just sit him down and go, mate, like things are growing. Let's really see how big this vision is, right? Because all my vision was all about me back then. It was just like, how busy can I get as a soccer coach? I wasn't thinking like, can we go right across Australia with this? Can we create like a licensing model? Can this business become something bigger? Like I wasn't thinking like that. I was just like, well, I like this transformation, and there's nothing wrong with this, but like you can see what I created for myself because I was only thinking about me and not the grander vision of the business. It created a vehicle that was dependent on me, which then created I'm not getting paid enough here. I need to be greedy now. A selfish vision swung back the other way and created another selfish vision, if you can see what I'm talking about here. I was only like focused on myself. I want to get busy. I want to create the transformation, but I wasn't seeing the bigness of it. How big can this be? So got disconnected from that. And of course I went into sales, and it was like, all right, well, let's see how much money I can make. Now, you guys probably know the story from here if you've been following me for a while. I sucked at sales for like 90 days, eventually broke through, became very good at it, and the rest was history. worked for a few more companies after that, built up my call center. But then what inevitably happened was at the end of that call center, I bumped up against the same roadblock, but in a different form. It's like, oh, well, I've made all this money now. COVID's come in. It's taken my business away. Like no one wants it anymore, but I've got all my money and I'm still feeling shitty. So now it's time to try something else. And this is where I made up. I'm like, okay, screw it. I'm going to become like all about people, and I'm just gonna, try and find my heart. So then I went on this big self-discovery journey, which again, you guys have heard. If you've been following me for a while, you know what I did. Went to Bali, yeah, I got into rap, but I'm going, I just want to do what I'm passionate about. And I'm like, I don't care about money, whatever. But deep down, what was going on was there was a part of me that was like, I'm going to try and find what I'm passionate about, because if I do that, maybe I'll just find this next level of success where money just follows me and I won't have to work as hard. I thought, well, that must be the answer, because I made lots of money. It didn't really fill me up. But maybe if I follow the passion and if I make money that way, my life will be better. So you can see, like, I'm swinging like crazy here. But over here, I'm like at the start of the journey, I'm actually focused on an end result. So momentum gets built up. I swing over to, I'm really greedy, just all about the money, don't really care about what else is happening. And then I swing back to the other way, which is like, let me just do what I'm passionate about. Let me not really think about money. Let me see what's out there. Let me search for my heart, and let's see what pops off. And the reality was, guys, it was a fucking vicious cycle, because I wasn't getting anywhere. I still felt it, like, had that empty feeling inside of my body. And I share that because a lot of people go through this cycle. They get very greedy. They're like, oh, I was all about the money. I just wanted security, a job that paid the bills, and I was living the corporate life. And now I don't care about that. I'm all about the people. And now I'm, it's either about the people or about themselves. Now I'm all about my heart, and I just want to do what I love, and I don't care about money, or I just want to go save the world, and I don't care about the money. Money's like, it's so superficial. But here's the thing, that is an oscillating structure. What I've learned now, that's a structure of oscillation. And if you guys are listening, going, what do you mean by that? That whole vision is born from pain, pleasure, or you pick your pain and pleasure. Like if you had pain with being a charity, you're going to have pleasure with a lot of money. But then all of a sudden, when money doesn't fulfill you, you'll create pain over here with money, and then you'll swing back over here to charity. And then when there's pain on both sides, you'll have a fucking mental breakdown like I did and go, who the hell am I? I don't know myself. Oh my God, what fills me up? You have a crisis, right? But the thing is, this structure is meant to keep you stuck in insanity, because it keeps you going around in circles. So more money? No. Less money? No money. Oh, maybe somewhere in the middle where I can have a bit of both. And your ego's laughing, because it's like, well, this guy or this person, like I've got him. I'm going to keep him safe here. He's not going to expand, or she's not going to expand. But what broke it? What broke it for me? I learnt about my genius, of course, but as I'm learning about my genius, I'm rediscovering the importance of serving a true end result. It sounds so basic, guys, but it's the truth. I remembered, I'm like, the soccer coaching business, I was really going after an end result that mattered to me. That was a representation of my heart. I went after it, and the business built a momentum of itself. Now, had I been wiser back then, I would have gone, okay, well, we completed stage one of this business growth. Like, I'm not going to start with coaches around me. I didn't have the money at that stage and build it up that way. That's just silly. Stage one, phase one of growing that business had finished, but I didn't realize it had finished. Now, if I was to do it again, I would have been like, okay, well, what's the next obvious step? What's the next evolution of this business? that original vision, what has it now grown into? What's the new vision? That would have been the smarter approach. But anyway, in hindsight, you learn. But instead, I got stuck, and then I made it about me, right? I made it about me, and then I got into the pain pleasure structure. It's like, I'm going to be a greedy bastard now and just make lots of money because I was working too hard. Oh, no, I was a greedy bastard, made a lot of money, and I'm not enjoying it though. This is like exhausting, and so you can see, right? No money exhausting, lots of money exhausting. I would go back over here, right? I'm just going to do what I'm passionate about and make money that way. What did that do? Just get me super lost. There's no end result there. What's the end result? Now, some of you might be going, but Jordan, isn't money an end result? No, it's not. Money is a byproduct. Passion is a byproduct. Love is a byproduct of you creating something that matters to your heart. I didn't know what mattered. I didn't know what mattered. I did know that I loved transformation in soccer skills. Back then, it was like, yeah, I really love seeing this. I really love seeing this. But I got disconnected from it, and I see so many people in sales, in business owners, startup entrepreneurs. They get some momentum, and then all of a sudden they forget about the end result. It's hard, man. And you know, I think if we got over this whole money story and realize that money is a byproduct of you creating your genius, because your genius, here's the thing, and some people be like, well, you know, this was my thing. How do I know I'm going to make money from my genius? How do I know that? The beauty of it is you don't know. And when you don't know, you're open. You're so open. You're so vulnerable, and you're receptive to the highest levels of creativity and service. When you're thinking about how can I make money from this, you are not creative. You are not creative. You're going into past data. You will search for how things have been done and just recreate a carbon copy of something. That's what I did for a long time, you know. But when you're open and you're like, okay, well, let money aside. What's the end result that I would love to create? What is my genius giving me? And listen, this is something you do not think about. You do not want to speak to your ego about this, because it'll give you all kinds of things that you'll be really let down by. Like I had a lot of great ideas and opinions about what I'd be passionate about creating. And I went and did it, but did I really have an end result? No, I didn't. Like I spoke about it in a post I made a few weeks ago in regards to my rap music. There was no end result there. It was just, rap music. Yeah, I'm passionate about this. No, Jordan, what do you love to create? Oh, okay. Different conversation. And when you're really clear on that, and like I know for myself, when I tune into my end results now, ideas, like new ways of doing things just come in. It just comes in, and money follows. Money follows. But money's not the focus, because I know it's like, well, I've tried that. I've prioritized money, and yes, I've created something, but it's always left me a bit short, either internally or externally. I've built something I don't like, but I've got the money, so whatever, I'll just keep going. Or I've built something I like, but shit, I'm not getting paid. Like, what is this? Why? When you connect to your genius end results, you naturally serve everyone around you. Well, not everyone around you. You serve a particular person at the highest level. Then, of course, you're going to get paid. Like, it's just assumed. But the problem is that a lot of experts out there, like, you got to focus on money, prioritize your money. All right? Because if you don't prioritize your money, you're going to lose it. It's bullshit, man. You value money, but you don't come from this place of, I am so terrified of losing my money. I don't trust myself on this like deep level. So I am going to be a bull, a greedy thing, a narcissist when it comes to money. That doesn't work. And if it is working for you, I look, I'm just going to call a spade here because of what that used to work for me. I bet it's exhausting. I bet there's a part of you that's dying to be expressed, and you can't. You can't because you've got money at the top. I know that was me. I really wanted to close my business and travel the world and be a coach and have it all. But I'm like, I can't make money from that. There's already too many people doing that. How am I going to do that? That was one of my beliefs. And the thing is, here's the interesting thing. When you let go of your beliefs, what I've noticed is you can't go back to the same structure. So all of a sudden, if you get outside of your beliefs and you start thinking creatively and following your genius, following your heart, but structurally, where it's not following your heart so you can follow your heart, it's you're following your heart so you can create absolute magic in this world, right? When you've got that focus, right, what happens? You can't go back to the same structure. Your mind will go, but how are we going to make money from this? And you go, no. It's either genius results. It's either genius end results, or it's you go back to trying to survive. You'll see it. You'll see it so clearly. But because people never intimately meet their genius, they'll never know what that feels like. That's just the truth, right? I'm all about speaking the truth here. Most people think that when they think to themselves, that's their genius. It's not. That is your ego speaking to you and keeping you safe. But when you're able to drop in a powerful process where you can access that state, that super conscious part of you, oh boy, you see a different world. And those of you that have done some work with me, you'll know. You're like, oh my God, I'm freaked out. That's what everyone says. But it's power. It's power. This works in business. It works in corporate. Like if you want to really become the genius behind your life, okay, the first thing is you really have to assume that what you're going to create is bigger than money. It's just bigger than money, right? If you assume that, money is going to follow you, you won't have to go chase it. You won't even have to focus on it. When it comes to you, you'll have a system and you'll be able to manage it. But what you're creating, your creative power, your vision is so much bigger, money can't help but flow to you. Okay, so to everyone out there, it's like, well, I'm being a good person because I don't care about money. Or I'm a bull, I'm a beast, and I focus on money all the time. And yeah, man, I'm living a good life. Let me tell you, if that's working for you, kudos to you. And again, that might be the way for you. I'm not making it wrong on this podcast, but if you're someone that really wants to express your genius and fulfill that purpose that you were put here to fulfill, okay, please hear me loud and clear. That kind of mentality has got you playing in an arena that is miles away from your genius, miles away. Saving the world, or focusing on money, one end of the spectrum, or I just want to follow my heart and see what happens. Like that's you're not going to ever create something big there. You're not ever really going to discover the bigness, the powerful you. Okay, it doesn't live in that money structure. And let me also be really honest here. If you don't think that you're even focused on money by saying, I don't care about money, let me tell you right now, you are in a money structure. Oh boy, you're in a big time money structure. But Jordan, money's not important to me. Why are you talking about it? You're in a money structure because at one time it was. So you must have swung back to the other way. And I'm saying this with a lot of love here, guys. I know I'm laughing and pulling a bit of a joke here, but I just want to call a spade here. For a long time, I thought, no, I don't care about money. While I was gallivanting around Bali, Byron Bay, money's not that important. I was so focused on money. But it's a trick, right? Because I didn't think I was, but because I was focused on the opposite of being greedy, my subconscious was going, oh, this guy's still focused on money. He's just focused on not having it. Yeah, right? But at the same time, why am I focused of not having it? Only because it's somewhere in my subconscious, I also still have that old thought, old belief. I need lots of it, right? And the way you alchemize that and step out of that is you learn about your genius. And you don't need to be greedy or a charity. You just create your genius because you see, you're like, oh, this is what I love. And then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. It's like, well, I'm just going for the coaching business because I love coaching. I love the transformation. For me, guys, I am so excited about people realizing and then creating their genius. I love that. I love that. I want people in any form, in any way, to be able to access that. Like if it's just through listening to my podcast, if it's coming to one of my workshops, one of my events, my one-to-one coaching, like however that happens, I'm here for it because it's about that. It's about that, right? When it comes to my stories, I want to convey wisdom in my books that transform people. That's what I really want to do. If it's in a story format, if it's in a how-to model, like I've got that end result so clear in my mind. When I'm playing music, right? Playing the guitar, playing a bit of the keys, I want to stimulate emotion. That's what I want my songs to do. Stimulate. I want people to feel something. Now again, all of that. Am I a bit vulnerable there? Yeah, you bet. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how big it's going to get. I don't know how small. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of money, if there's going to be a lot of recognition. I've got no idea because it's not about that. It's about the end result. I can see how big it is. That is my preference, but I'm keeping an open heart and going, I am vulnerable to where I'm at. I know where I'm at. I know the action steps that I'm taking in order to like achieve this big vision where I am bringing the fullest expression of this end result to life. But if I ever shut my heart down by saying, screw the vision, let's make some money now because I'm fed up. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with not being as big as Tony Robbins or not being as recognized as Bruce Springsteen. If I ever lose my end result and I start to prioritize recognition, money, right? And I get really greedy or I swing back the other way after doing that for a while. And I'm like, well, now I just don't care about that at all. I'm just gonna do some things and see what happens. And I don't really care about money. I just want to help people. Both of those are lies. They're not end results. Just helping, but with what, Jordan? What do you want to do? What's the end result and how big can that get? So that balances that out. And then over here, it's like, we're greedy. Oh, yeah, I just want to make lots of, but what are you actually doing that's making the money? Okay. But with this big vision here that I've got, man, I see there's people in the stadiums, there's people in my one-to-ones. It's busy as all hell. But it's because there's an end result there that's driving it. And I don't need to worry about money. It's taking care of itself. Okay. So to round off this episode, guys, if you are finding yourself telling yourself, like, I don't care about money. I don't care about money. Right. And you're really like telling yourself that a lot, right? You bring it up in conversations or you use it as an excuse. I haven't got enough money right now. Okay. Just know you are in a structure that is taking you away from your genius. You can't be focused on not having enough money or not wanting money and being in your genius. You just can't, right? Because that's an egoic structure. That's a survival structure. You're trying to preserve an identity there. And I've lived through it. Okay, that this is something I have a lot of empathy for. But if you're ready to hear this message, please take it on board that it's one or the other. Over here, in terms of like, I wanna make lots of money and I'm beast mode, right? Again, that's just one way. But if that's what's driving all of your work and all of your creativity, you're miles away from your genius. Because the emotion is coming from, I need lots of it because at one point I didn't have a lot of it. Step out of Marvel Stadium and let's play at the MCG now. Let's play in the big stadium. Let's play where the geniuses play, where my team plays, Collingwood. I'm just mucking around, but it's true. It's true. Let's step into your genius where the end result, where you are in relation to the big vision that you have, where those 2 points, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters, as Metallica said. The big vision and where you are. All right, guys, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, share this episode with your friends, and we will see you next time. Hey guys, Jordan Debano here. If you are someone that is wanting to bring your genius project to life in the form of a business, a book, maybe you're a songwriter deep down, or you're just wanting to express your natural talents in your current career or business, look no further than the Genius Sessions. It's a new segment on my podcast where I coach people on bringing their genius to life. So our guests apply to be on the show. They have a particular challenge or scenario that is maybe in the way of them expressing their genius, and I take them through some specific processes that helps them transform their blocks into opportunities in realizing their true genius. So if you would like to be on the show, we have spots available for the rest of the year. All you need to do is apply in the show notes below. There's a link. Fill in the application, and if you're successful, you'll be contacted by myself or a team member of mine over email. All right, guys, hope to speak to you soon.